Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of R.C.W. Top 10. This week, we're going to be counting down the top 10 most anticipated WrestleMania matches. Now, this does not actually pertain to anything about potential quality or about the competitors in them or their talent or just generally how close the match is going to be. This has no relevance to any of those aspects. So with that in mind, let's get to number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Eddie and Mater versus EA. Now, while Eddie is in a good deal of main title matches, including the World Heavyweight and the World Heavyweight rematch for the number one contendership against Brooke, this particular match has been on the back burner for Eddie, but probably a number one for Ethan and Mater, whereas Agent has also other things. But for those particular reasons, there has not been enough time by those superstars to pump up the match, but it's still, I promise you, will be a good match between Ethan and Agent on Team EA and Eddie and Mater on whatever their team name is. I don't really know. So it's going to be a good match. It's Eddie and Mater versus Team EA for the Tag Team Championship, coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Rabid Cool Tough Guy, the United States Champion, versus Glee Rex for the United States Championship. Now, while I promise you this is going to be one of the top matches of the night, against two very contrasting styles, not necessarily similar, but two very contrasting styles, between that of Eddie Armour and that of Glee Rex for the United States Championship, but it has had a lack of actual pump-up other than a couple of comments on the wall. So, good match, not very much build-up. Glee Rex versus Rabbit for the United States title, coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is MAAM Hockey versus Creative for Life for the Raw WWE Championship and Damon and the Viper for the NXT Championship. Now, titles have a big factor in this. MAAM versus Creative, since MAAM won the N1C for Raw WWE, has had barely any promos at all for it or any pump-up. Now, that doesn't work exactly full against its own favor. The match itself is able to pump itself up because these two are major rivals. Should it? Probably not. But it's also for the Raw WWE Championship. It's going to be a big match between Creative and MAAM, just with not enough build-up. And there's only so much build-up to go around. As for Damon and the Viper, there's been quite a bit of build-up, but the championship itself is kind of the rookie title, which is fought for Thursdays, and it is optional. So it's not even guaranteed it's going to happen. But I feel pretty confident in saying that it's going to be the Viper versus Damon, the NXT champion, at WrestleMania. And that actually has had a lot of pump up with the Viper coming out and disrespecting Damon. Damon shutting him down at every opportunity. I think it's just going to be a very, very good match to show what the NXT division is about. So that's Damon and the Viper for NXT and MAAM versus Creative for Raw WWE at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Agent Cool the Best versus Kendall 1056. Now, the reason that this intercontinental matchup comes up so much lower is Agent can only come on select days. As of late, Kendall has only been able to come on select days. So, this basically adds up to not enough time for both superstars. Now, while Kendall has other focuses, like retaining his World Tag Team Championship against either Eddie and Dean or Brooke, and Agent has Team Cena versus Team Edge to worry about, they kind of have separate focuses, and I'd say they quite pay off higher up on the list. But regardless, this match has had good promos and build-up in the early going, but more in the later, closer to WrestleMania season, there hasn't been much. So for those reasons, Agent Cool the Best versus Kendall 1056 for the Intercontinental Championship comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is Eddie and Dean versus Brooke. Now, this has got to be one of the best matches, and if it was for the World Tag Team Championship, I see no reason it couldn't have been a spot higher, but for the fact that it's just for the N1C, and it doesn't even guarantee either team the actual World Tag Team Championship, it comes in at number 6. Now, these two have had a decent amount of promos ever since Eddie and Dean won the World Tag Team Championship in the World Tag Team Championship sort of gauntlet, sort of tournament mixture. Brooke kids having their rightful rematch clause accepted by that of K4L and Kendall makes a little controversy between these two teams. Now, ever since Dean left COO and left Corp to go with Eddie, there's been a lot of heat between Kids, Brooke, and Dean, and Eddie just never really liked by the corporation side for obvious faction reasons. So to see which team wins and comes out the World Tag Team #1 contender will be a very interesting thing and has had a fair bit of build-up in such a short time. So that's Eddie and Dean versus Brooke Kids for the World Tag Team Championship #1 contendership at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Queen versus Painful. This one's got a more of an all-around mixture. Now, while it's not exceptional in build-up and not exceptional in match quality, it's pretty high in most categories. On the wall, these two have been flaming each other for almost a good month now, ever since I'm the Real Styles came back and Queen debuted around the same time. Both have had problems with each other. Does anyone really know why? I think even they might not know why, but they certainly do have a problem with one another. At shows, they constantly want promos. They constantly team against each other. They pick different sides, and they always want to fight. They're always fighting in the crowd. And just generally, these two are such equal matched people with about 1-2 promos, but clearly a lot of other things have done the talking. And this match is quite interesting. So I'm going to say Queen versus Painful at number 5, and it could be number 4 once you hear our number 4 pick. So that's Queen versus Painful at a number 5, and could be number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Team Cena versus Team Edge. Now, I know this has only been pumped up as of late, but it has been highly requested by that of people who support Team Edge. Now, this is sort of like Team WWE versus Team Nexus. A ginormous team of people with a similarity. Nexus being all from rookie roster, and C-Nation all being supporters of Mattis. All in a cohesive unit on a set path of domination, but not quite respected by many other of the actual other wrestlers around them. Whereas Team WWE, which is Team Edge, has a lot of disagreements among each other, but is still a really good team. And it's really going to be interesting to see what happens when Agent leads his team and Mattis leads his team in an entire rivalry that has been fueling since probably before Night of Champions. This rivalry has been so serious. It's going to be one hell of a fight to see what this comes down to, and it's one of the few rivalries that has spanned so long all the way until WrestleMania. So let's see what happens. Team Cena versus Team Edge coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is a match that actually has not been announced until this very minute. Seems a little weird. How can a match that's never been announced till this minute be so big, so high up on this list? It's undeserving, isn't it? Well, what have I told you? At WrestleMania, we don't know the superstar involved, but it will be a Memorial Battle Royal. What will be the prize? A giant trophy of said superstar and a potential for a bigger reward in the future. Now, why is this so big? Well, how many times have you seen on the wall, kids, let's have a Memorial Battle Royal. Let's have a Sport Battle Royal. Let's have an Ace Masterson. Let's have a Grumpy Battle Royal. Every single superstar has been suggested to be the spotlight of this Battle Royal, but the outcome is still the same for every request, is that everyone wants to see a battle royal, to see the one man who will be left standing in this over-the-top rope memorial battle at WrestleMania 2, coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Rabid Cool Tough Guy versus Kids Rock 4. Now, this is debatable that this could also be number 1 as all lists go, and I told you last time that usually most lists go from anywhere from 1 to 2 to 1 to 5 in an interchangeable fashion. Now, in this case, it's pretty much 1 to 2, maybe 3. But with Rabid versus Kids, Rabid winning the Royal Rumble and Kids Rock 4 winning his R.C.W. championship for over 450 days ago. Rabid looks to conquer the impossible at the grandest stage of them all, the second WrestleMania. Ever since Royal Rumble, this man has been unstoppable, but ever since December of 2013, likewise, Kids Rock 4 has been unstoppable. It's two unstoppable forces colliding, and the match happens at WrestleMania. Promos, not so much fuel on the wall, and just the general knowledge that that match has been guaranteed pretty well since Royal Rumble that Rabbit would take on the RCW champion, whoever that might be. And ever since Fastlane, about 34 days ago, we have known that. So it's Rabbit versus Kids, WrestleMania 2 for the RCW Championship, coming in at number 2. Coming in at number 1, like I said, this could also be number 2, and it's interchangeable, but our pick for number 1 is Y3, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Eddie Armour with the rematch clause versus the number 1 contender, Brooksie, Brooksie, in a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this match has got to be so exciting because, well, we all know how big these triple threats are. Anyone can walk out champion. Y3 can retain. Eddie can walk out a 4-time champion. Brooke can walk away a 2-time champion. My thing just came down. But there's no way to predict who's going to solidly win this match. And that is what makes it so good. So, whoever you're siding with, if you're a Y3 Explosive Reigns kind of guy, if you're an Eddie Armour kind of guy, if you're a Brooksie gal, doesn't matter what it is, that match is unpredictable, and that match is going to be one of the best matches of that night. So it's Brooksie versus Eddie Armour versus the World Heavyweight Champion, Y3, at WrestleMania, coming in at number 1. Thank you, RCWers, for checking out this episode of RCW Top 10. We hope you enjoyed the list. Probably didn't, but that's fine. And, well, I also hope you agreed with it, but like Watch Mojo, we make top 10s that no one agrees with. So, anyway, make sure you leave your idea for the list down below in the comments, or up below, or up above, or to the right. Who knows what YouTube's going to fuck up with next. Anyway, I'm KidsRock4. Make sure to check out daily content on the RCW Network. Make sure to check out top 10s every single weekend, and 2 this weekend. That's right, we got 1 cooking up for you tomorrow, because cooking up sounds a little more spicy. And WrestleMania is tomorrow, people. Hall of Fame later tonight. We have amazing inductees, and you're going to see the RCW WrestleMania Arena. The RCW superstars and anyone who wants to come will get to see, watch in awe, and compete in tomorrow. So, I'm KidsRock4, and I am signing off.
And I'm King Julian.
Approving this message.
I'm signing off.